yoga friends, my name is Doreen Foxwell. Welcome to today's Kids Yoga Meets Astrology. Today I want to talk to you about a big problem going out there in the New Age world. It's not only the astrology world, it's the world of oracle decks and oracle cards, and that's something we also like to teach with and use in our Kids Yoga Meets Astrology version of our programming. This is a totally separate part of our program we do with children than our traditional yoga classes, but I fell victim to counterfeit decks, and it was a rookie mistake. I should have known better. I should have listened to my intuition and that little voice in my head. I even asked the cashier at the register of this very, very popular, let's say, place in the area that I live in. I will not say the name, but it is where you can find like 150 vendors under one roof, and many of the vendors in there are spiritual vendors. And I was so excited because I found a mini version of a deck that I didn't have and I really wanted to try to get. And this is what the deck looked like. It supposedly was Colette Baron Reed's Spirit Animal Oracle deck. And so, because it was priced at such a good price, and I questioned its authenticity with the cashier if it had a guidebook. We'll get back to that in a minute. And I was told, yes, I'm sure it does. Okay then. But I should have known. Here are some telltale signs for these, by the way, are all genuine oracle decks, all of which I purchased at Hay House. That's my favorite place to purchase oracle decks. I know they're authentic and they work with the authors directly. They're a publishing house and so much more. So these are some of my favorite, but here's the two to compare to show you the difference so you don't make the same mistake that I did. All right, number one thing you should look for. You should look to see if the oracle deck is wrapped in plastic. I had started to unwrap this already. All the decks that come in from Hay House are all wrapped in plastic, let's say. This oracle deck that I got at this consignment type shop, let's say, of 150 vendors, was not wrapped in plastic. Clue number one. Clue number two, when I opened up this deck, the cards were in there, but they were not having a white kind of strap around them that traditionally I know all the decks that come from Hay House come with. For instance, here is the Hay House deck. Here, by the way, is the guidebook. I'll get back to that. Here's that white piece of strap paper packaging that is around all decks you get from Hay House that you literally have to take off of a new deck. So you know nobody's used this deck, it's brand new. Smells fresh and brand new too. Anyway, now let's get to the guidebook. Oh, the guidebook. The guidebook has the information on every single card in the deck. You want to have that guidebook to know what the author of this oracle deck's meaning for each card was. That is very important to be able to tell the difference on the cards, or just to be able to do a reading, I'm sorry, to be able to learn about the cards' meanings and do a reading. The next thing that I will say about the cards is that they are two different sizes. The Hay House version has beautiful rounded edges, where the counterfeit version, all square, very square. The Hay House version visually looks very similar. Doesn't smell the same, but it does look very similar. And what I want to do is I want to pull two similar cards for you to see in regards to the Hay House version versus the author's original version. So, counterfeit, Hay House. They're very similar. The colors are a bit crisper, I'll say, on the Hay House version than the counterfeit version. But boy, this counterfeit version, if you didn't know about these 3 things I feel that you should really be aware of when purchasing, you wouldn't know. And if you were brand new to buying an oracle deck, you would have no way to know. And so the last thing I want to speak on is my own experience in the world of yoga and or using oracle decks. In the world of yoga, we have like a yoga Bible, I'll call it, that we live by. Thousands of years old. It's the yoga law that was written by Patanjali, and the number one of those laws, are a very important one to me and most people in the yoga world, is asteya, or non-stealing. I feel myself that if you are selling, you're a seller of counterfeit decks, you are stealing not only money-wise from a lot of different hands, the author, the publishing house, and all of that, but the energy. Now, stolen energy is actually not necessarily a good thing. Why would you want that stigma of that stolen energy? You do not want that stigma. You want to use decks that come from the heart, and that when you're using that deck, you know you're using it for the highest good out there in the universe. If you did not know it was a counterfeit deck, and you were not aware, though any business owners, if you're a business owner and you are purchasing these counterfeit decks, all I can say is shame on you. Even like, I don't know if I said it earlier, and I might have. I was at a huge event earlier this year, very big spiritual event, with lots of spiritual people and lots of spiritual teachers and vendor tables. And guess what they had at their table? You guessed it. They had not only Colette's deck that was counterfeit, but a whole bunch of Hay House author counterfeit pocket-sized decks. Did I say anything to that vendor? No. But did I say something to the people running the event? Yes. And I will say this. Did that event management team do anything about it? No. So in the world of what we do, when I say we, people in the New Age world, there are even people in the New Age world that don't act very New Age, let's say. And I don't mean to sound condescending, but I'm telling you that working with children gives me such insight into the goodness out there, the purity out there. And you better believe I am not going to use a counterfeit deck when I am working with children. I am working with children who are so pure and honest, and you work from the heart, and I work from the heart as well in my business and what I do. And so I hope that you have learned the difference between a counterfeit deck, hello, and an authentic deck. Namaste. Have a great yoga day.